Hello, my name is Vova, and welcome back to a series of lectures how to take amazing pictures with your phone. This is lecture number 3, and now I will talk about soft light. Just for clarification, I use different terms for the other type of light. When I talked about direct light, I only used term direct. The other types of light, I think the most appropriate term will be soft, and we'll see why it is soft. The terms that I also used were diffused, reflected, and indirect. And instead of going deep into terminology, I will just mention all those types of light on different pictures that I will show during the lecture. So let's start. Okay, I want to start with examples of different pictures I made, and later on I will also show pictures of other photographers. So this is a picture of a tree, trunk of the tree with leaves made in a soft light conditions. So if you remember from previous lecture, the direct light is easily identified by dark and sharp edges of the shadows, and here we can clearly see that the shadows are not sharp. Okay, the eye captures the softness of the light, and the light basically is coming through the leaves. I think there were some clouds in this during this day, but the light comes from the leaves, and then it is diffused. Here I use the word diffused. The light is diffused, and it creates the beautiful content. It fills the picture with light, but still we can see the shadows softly, gradually moving from more dark places to more light places. This picture, on this picture we can see that the light is really soft. We can hardly recognize where the shadows are. We can see here a little, and we can see that the edges are very smooth. Again, a very soft light conditions. This picture was taken in the forest. Trees can create a beautiful ceiling that sometimes the direct light doesn't penetrate. And we can see again no real deep shadows, and the mood is very special, very delicate. Together with the colors, it really plays well in a picture. This example sometimes can confuse because the shadows are not very soft. We can see that half of the face is pretty dark, but again, if we look on the edges, there is no clear edge, so the light is soft. So what's the difference between this picture and previous picture? This picture was made when I sat near a window, and I will explain about the window type of light. It creates a sort of direct light, but still soft. Okay, and the effect we can see for portraits it is used very often. This picture was made in a shade. The light is really diffused, and the difference between the bright and the more little darker places is very subtle. Also a picture made in diffused light conditions. Why it is diffused? It was shot in a cloudy day, so the light, when it comes from the sun, it goes through clouds and it gets diffused. So we don't get one stream of light. We get it diffused and reflected all kind of places. And the effect is clear on the picture. We can again see that there are no sharp edges of the shadows, Okay, so how soft light is created, and I split it into different conditions. The first one, when there are some light clouds, like in this picture, the light is still bright and we can see the shadows clearly, but the shadows will be softer than when compared to real direct light conditions, when we can clearly see the edge of the shadow. As opposed to that, in heavy clouds, the light is really diffused. It is spread all over. The edges of the shadows will not be seen at all. There will be very smooth edges, and the mood will be appropriate for that. It depends what to shoot. In the middle, there are other conditions when there are clouds, but they're not as heavy as in the previous slide. So you can see on the plants that there is some texture on the leaves, and the colors are still alive, as opposed to previous picture when the colors are really dull. Another part of the day, just after the sunset, the light is really beautiful, really soft and delicate, and you can see on the shadows on the waves, on the small waves on the sea. When we take a picture under tree, we can get this kind of effect. So we can clearly see that there is some direction of the light. Okay, we can see this part is pretty brighter than this, but the edges of there's no edges of the shadows. The shadows are really smooth and soft, and the face is almost flat. Okay, window. So I want to talk about the window. Window is a really great source of soft light, and what window does, it creates us a well-defined source, because the window has boundaries. So the light is coming from the window, and it does not come from other places except from the wall. The light gets reflected here on the wall, and it's another secondary source of light in this picture. In the more advanced course, maybe I will talk about secondary types of light, but here the direction is clearly seen, as opposed to this picture. The direction of light is hardly identifiable because the light source is really large, as opposed here the light source is well defined. It is much smaller than the sky. Okay, now let's not be confused. When we get sunlight from window, it can be a direct light, like here. The source is also a window, but the sun is clearly direct, and we can see it by the shadow again, and the picture is much more contrast, and it's a whole different effect than the previous one. Open door can be a really good light source. It's usually bigger than the window, depends on the window, of course. And here I took a picture when there was another window behind me, so the whole effect is almost flat face, almost no shadows. Now I want to go over more examples. So what can we take a picture of during soft light conditions? Here we have a mixture of direct light and soft light. You can clearly see by the direction of the shadows here. Flat picture, no shadows, maybe a little here, and it plays well with the subject. Okay, the subject is like painting. Moody sea under cloudy light conditions. It gives a certain mood to the whole picture. geometrical and colorful subject. And now try to imagine what would happen to the picture if it was shot under direct light conditions. What would shadows will look like and what effect it will be. Another example of flat, soft light conditions, geometrical picture. And now I want to look at several portraits made under soft light. You can see what effect it creates. There is a little drama in the face of David Bowie here, and we can understand that it is either cloudy evening or almost evening, so it certainly plays well with the whole mood of the picture. This picture has a mixture of light sources. We have some artificial light here, but the windows here create a very, very, I would say, cozy effect of the room. It depends on your subjective reaction to the picture, but here I want to show the effect of the windows as light sources. Again, soft light conditions, cloudy day, an umbrella also hints us. This is also a cloudy day. The light has direction. We can see by the shadow, but we can see also that the shadow is not as clear as it would be with direct light. Okay, and now I would like to go over some paintings. In general, I think it's a great idea to learn from painters and how they worked with the light, and when we talk about composition, of course, composition is a very important. So let's go over several portraits. You're probably familiar with the girl with the pearl earring. We can see a soft light source playing with the shadows here, very soft. Imagine what light source it could be. If it's not artificial, then it could probably be a small window. Here Rembrandt is amazing work with light. Again, if we imagine a natural light source, it will be a small window above the painter. More soft picture as opposed to previous one, very dark. This one is much brighter. We have like imaginary two light sources from here and from here. Another one. Just pay attention to the light work. Here very dark and shallow light. Now this one, I just forgot the name of the painter. It's a Dutch painter, if I remember correctly. The light is still soft, but the background is very dark, so it creates a overall impression of direct light. But I think what painter had in mind was something between soft and direct light. Yeah, Napoleon is a very classical portrait when the face is lit with the soft light, and in the background we have some landscape. Another soft portrait. And also I brought this example from a magazine, so it's a bit a mixture, probably made in a studio, but it's a mixture of direct light, we can see by the shadow, and some soft light secondary sources. Okay, so that's it for today. This would be the last lecture for now about light, and I will get back to working with light when we'll talk about composition. So from now, I'm inviting you to pay attention to light, to take pictures when you think about the light source, the direction of the light, whether the light is direct, soft, whether what source of soft light it is, and just play with it and see what effect it creates on your pictures. See you soon. Bye.